Hi, I'm Bob Radosi with Philauer TRS, and I'd like to talk to you today about our adult prehensor line, our grip voluntary closing devices. And I call them prehensors rather than hooks. A hook is a more overt shape, so our gripping devices, our grip prehensors, have an internal hook, but they're not an overt hook. And the word prehensor means to wrap around. So these devices, when they grasp onto objects, much like the prehensor I'm wearing, have a tendency to grasp and wrap around an object rather than an adduction pinch. So I really like to make a definitive difference between, or make sure you understand a difference between a hook, split hook, which has an adduction pinch, and a prehensor, which really has an opposed thumb type of a design. The original grips I started to develop as a personal project as far back as 1976, but they became a reality in 1980 when TRS was first formed. And all of these models are about the same size as far as their opening and their capability. They have different weights, they have different exterior finishes, and they really have some different levels of function. So the Grip 2S is made with titanium outer plates. It has aircraft aluminum in it. It's over a 90% efficient device. It has a cable capsule that accepts 3/16" terminal balls, and it uses, like all of these devices do, a 1/2" diameter threaded fitting. This is applicable for transradial, and because it's a little bit lighter, it's applicable for transhumeral type of instance as well. Its brother, so to speak, is our very heavy duty. This is the workhorse in our line. Essentially looks exactly like the model I just showed you, except this is made completely of heat-treated stainless steel. This is a real tool, and we sell this probably more than any of the other heavy-duty line. This is a device designed to last for a long time and give a lot of performance. It has cooperating gripping surfaces, creating a variety of operating circles that when you close will handle a variety of different diameters. And that's to give you the ability to handle tools in a lot better fashion. So they can handle a variety of different objects, diameters from very small to 1/2" out to 1 inch, and from about 1 inch out to over 3 inches. Also the narrow design. All of these grip devices that I'm going to show you are narrow in nature. That allows you to get at things. You can manipulate things a lot easier. Unfortunately, the hand, as good of a tool as it is, when it's made into a prosthetics device, can be very cumbersome and clumsy. So having a narrow design to these devices really enhances their functionality. So this is the Grip 3. This was the third in really the evolution of our devices. And the Grip 3 comes in either tan or black gripping surfaces. If you're in an environment where there's a lot of grit and dirt going on, the black is a better option. These are an injected, molded thermoplastic elastomer called Hytrel. They're tough. These are pretty hard surfaces, but they do have some compliance. And the thing about the Grip 3 that's important over the Grip 2 devices is that this will tear stuff up. It's a heavy-duty tool, but it does do its damage to handles and things like that. The Grip 3, because of these surfaces, is a lot more forgiving. Still very, very functional, same cooperating gripping surfaces, but it doesn't mar objects like the Grip 2 or the Grip 2 SS will. And many people who are using these grip devices that like voluntary closing will own multiple devices. So they might have a Grip 2 that they use in their vocation if they have a heavy-duty vocation. When they go home, they might move to a Grip 5. Now the Grip 5s are the lightest in weight. They're down under 10 ounces. I'm wearing the Grip 5 right here. This is the very same device that I wore when I won the Cybelothon upper extremity prosthetics competition in October of 2016. It's made with 7075 aircraft aluminum structural inside, and then it has covers in 10 different color overlays, and then it has, even beyond that, a variety of other type of inserts that are self-adhesive. The advantage to the Grip 5 is that it is lighter. We're using a softer polymer material, and it also has a little bit greater width to it. So it handles objects with a little bit better control. One of the attributes that I'd like to show you about the Grip 5 is that we had a pass-through area here, and that allows you to grasp an object and capture it at the tip, but have it captured through. This is very good for controlling utensils, pencils, anything that has a narrow diameter that can fit through here, gives you great stability and good control over it. You'll note that these have a very wide base plate. That base plate is good for stability and interlocks with the wrist components very well. The downside of having a wide wrist plate is that you cannot accommodate a flexion wrist, and it's not very applicable to trying to work into a partial hand prosthesis. So if you're building a partial hand prosthesis, we can actually sell you a specialized component that you can shape, drill, machine however you want, so that can be mounted right to a partial hand prosthesis. If you want to use the Grip 2s or the Grip 3s, and you want to use it in a flexion wrist, now this doesn't happen a lot, but if you have a flexion wrist application, we also provide you with a unit where we have removed the flanges. It's a special order. It's not significantly more expensive than anything else that you're buying, but it gives you the ability to put this into a wrist, and because the flanges are removed, now you can flex it over, and so it has flexion wrist capability. You just have to request that, and we'll do that for you. All of these devices fall under the L code 6722. It doesn't matter whether it's the metal devices or those that have some of these other cosmetic or functional attributes. So one of the things I'd like to point out that's really important about any device that you're putting on that's voluntary closing in particular, but is really applicable to all body power, is how you're going to control this cable. With voluntary closing, of course, you have to maintain tension. Now this prehensor is over 90% efficient, but what we have now is a system called a Sherlock, and this is one of two models that I have. This Sherlock is built in here. It's a cable connection. It's a cable locking system. So rather than locking the terminal device, we're locking the cable in place. So by a simple motion of my hand, I can engage a small cleat. It allows this cable to move proximally, but does not allow it to move distally. So one of the advantages to that with voluntary closing and all of our prehensors is that this gives you the ability to close and to hold on with no additional cable tension, no concentration involved. And that's a real important aspect. So if you're going to fit a voluntary closing device, whether it be our Grip 2S or Grip 2SS, the Grip 3 or the Grip 5, this should be an important component. It's kind of like salt and pepper. One complements the other, and you really need both of them. So consider the Sherlock.